Louise Krikorian, and this is Shaping Our Story, where we talk to exemplary leaders about their success to inspire others to thrive. Today, our guest, Whitney James, is a jazz vocalist celebrated for soulful storytelling, polished musicianship, and deeply expressive performances that connect instantly with audiences. She's also a full professor teaching commercial music at Dallas College in Texas. And she's a DJ, a jewelry designer, a shoe lover, and a proud dog mom. Hello and welcome, Whitney James.
Hi, Louise. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. I'm used to seeing you as my vocal coach.
I love doing that too.
I love seeing your piano in the background. I've got my piano in the background. We're all ready. We should just sing.
I'm ready. Let's go.
Yeah. But today we're really focused on the power of passion and perseverance and the consistency that you've had and the difference between your growing up and my growing up and the support that you got at such an early age. So you were 5 years old in the San Francisco Bay Area, and your mom was taking you to rehearsals and you were dancing, and then you tried out for Dorothy in the children's production of The Wiz. You were 9 years old.
Yes, that I music was always in our home. My parents had a huge record collection and my dad had a very fancy stereo, and we would always watch movie musicals, and there was always a lot of singing and dancing, and that was something I was doing from a very early age. So I think my mom thought, oh my gosh, we better channel this energy somewhere. So I started dance lessons when I was 5, and my dad was a big golfer. And on the weekends, he would golf all weekend long. And I wasn't allowed to touch the records or the stereo system. And when he would leave on Saturday morning after breakfast, I would ask have my mom put on a different record for me. And I would sit there with those big padded headphones and I would listen to it over and over until I memorized all the songs, the lyrics, the runs, the everything the singers were doing. And so that was like Barbara Streisand, Peaches and Herb, the Bee Gees, Chicago. I mean, it was Aretha Franklin. It was such a wide variety of music and singers. And I really fell in love with singing. I didn't know if I was any good. I'm sure my mom listening to me a cappella, my poor sister is like, oh. So that was sort of what I did all day long. And we would make up dances and put on shows. And so I started off as a dancer and then auditioned for musical theater, just hoping I would get in the chorus to dance. And I ended up getting the lead of Dorothy because they thought I was a good singer. And I was like, oh, I am. I always loved it, but I didn't know if I had any ability. And then I started taking singing lessons. So that really opened the door. And for a very long time, I thought I would go into musical theater. I loved that. But then I fell in love with jazz, and that sort of changed my trajectory.
So your Instagram profile says that you're a college professor, you're a musician, you're a DJ, you're a jewelry designer, you're a shoe lover, and a proud dog mom. So if we look
Yeah.
at all of those, what is your passion or greatest interest?
I mean, certainly the musician part is my greatest passion and love. And it's really being a musician, it's really something you have to be devoted to. And so that I would say is how I would primarily describe myself. I do love shoes. I have a shoe addiction and I do love jewelry. I love sparkly things. And pretty things. I'm very visual, and so those are just little facets of my personality, but musician would probably be the number one defining thing.
And you started training at an early age. Would you say that your mentors and the feedback that you got had a very strong influence on you?
Absolutely. My first voice teacher was an opera singer named Alana Lila Lapalainen. And this was in, I know she's Finnish. She was very glamorous. She was Miss Santa Clara County. I remember auditioning for her and I sang a song from The Wiz, Home. And I remember the feedback I received after that. And she said, "You have a very nice voice, but you sound almost like you're singing country. When I think of home, I think of."
Oh my
So that was her
goodness.
like imitation of me. But she was incredibly encouraging. I was her only student that didn't want to sing classical music, and she really let me explore and encouraged me in many ways. I started doing vocal competitions and then auditioning for more and more things. I started working at the fairgrounds for their holiday shows and the summer Santa Clara County Fair. And I think she got me in pageants, which I was not meant to do. But anyhow, she really encouraged me, and she was very important to my development as a singer. And when I started singing with her, I had one octave range that was very low for a young female person. And she was like, "Oh no, there's so much more there." And she really built my vocal range. I can attribute that to her for sure.
That's wonderful. Well, you had a very strong foundation with your parents supporting you and having a wonderful mentor and teacher and feedback early on. What did you learn from your biggest professional failure?
Hmm. I think those moments that we would maybe summarize as failure can really be some of our greatest lessons and redirections. Um, I think if I look at my musical life, certainly my um, I would say kind of giving up on myself in an academic way early on, and not being as dedicated and hungry as I should have been. I sort of um, felt that sense of failure deeply in things like music theory or piano, which I had struggled with in my like early 20s in my undergrad. I had studied piano as a child, but gave it up because I didn't enjoy it. But which was also something I regret. And my mom always says, "Oh, you should have never done that. I told you not to."
Oh,
But I think giving up on myself and maybe not pushing myself to work as hard, that would be something that I would love to go back and redo if I had a time machine. But I think those moments, we learn so much from them.
hmm,
So, um, I am who I am because of all of the experiences, good or bad, that I've had.
right.
And so I guess you really can't change it, but you can gain wisdom and insight. So.
Hmm. Well, it sounds like not everything comes easily to you, but you don't give up and you keep going. But what keeps you inspired?
The pursuit of knowledge, of gaining more skill, of growth, personally, certainly. I'm also inspired by um, trying to put something good and beautiful out into the world and appreciating that in my peers or mentors or people that I look up to. I'm always inspired by goodness, kindness. But yeah, certainly being able to um, put something beautiful that may take someone out of a moment they're having, like a terrible day, and if they could, hear something that you've recorded and it makes them pause and makes them forget about things for a moment. I think that's definitely worthwhile. So I don't know if that fully answers your question. I could probably
Yeah, I
wax
think that
poetic
it
for
does.
many minutes.
I wish we could just have you sing right now, but I think, well, I'm definitely going to include a link to your acclaimed album, The Nature of Love. But that's
Oh,
also it's streaming on iTunes and Spotify, but I'll put some information in the show
good.
notes. Speaking of that, what do you hope to do next?
So Um, that album came out in 20, or I guess I recorded it in 2009. It came out in 2010, and it was long overdue. And I feel like it is now long overdue for me to put something new out. So that's something that I'd love to accomplish this year. Um, and, uh, you know, I'm performing and then I'm teaching. And so, I'm always trying to learn and grow and be better, be a better educator, be a better teacher, inspire my students and encourage them. I think, Alana Leela Lapalainen was a wonderful influence on me, but then Jay Clayton was my mentor for many years. And she had this uncanny ability to help you discover your own voice and encourage you to do that and to pursue that. And so I hope that I'm being that for my students too.
And so, what is your advice for someone who's starting their own journey?
Stay hungry for knowledge, stay hungry to keep improving. It can be hard to sit in a practice room by yourself and slog through things that you're not naturally good at. And I certainly struggled with that. But it is such a gift to your future self if you can do that. I say practicing is the gift you give yourself that will show up
Mhm.
2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
Um, so, yeah, really stay hungry for knowledge and um, stay on that quest to become better in every way. That's really what I try to impart into my students.
And what do you do consistently?
Keep listening, keep exploring. I think as a vocalist, I love to explore the sounds that I can make, keep trying new things, and you know, I think the older we get, the more easy it is to be ourselves. I feel like we just get more distilled. It's like a sauce on the in a pan on the stove, and the more life seasons us, the less what's not truly us evaporates, and we get more tasty and distilled and robust. And so that's sort of uh, I think what I'm trying to do as an artist, as
Hmm.
a
Yeah.
musician, as a person. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. So, when our listeners want to find out more about you, where can they go?
My website, whitneyjames.com, WHITNEYJAMES.com. That is a great place to go, and everything you'll need will be there.
Well, I encourage everyone to go because we haven't even heard your voice yet. So everyone needs to hear your voice singing, just spine tingling.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You inspire me. Thank you so much for joining us at Shaping Our Story. And thanks to our guest, Whitney James, who shared her ability to continue even when things didn't come easily, as proof that she combines her passion with perseverance. If you enjoyed this week's episode, leave us a comment to inspire us to grow. You can make a suggestion for who to interview next. Follow us and share this episode with a friend who might appreciate a little motivation. See you next time.